Today we're spending time with Ron LaPlace and Dorothy Wallis. There is a new extensive 5-day workshop coming into Calgary in October, Awakening the Illuminated Heart. We're very, very excited to welcome Ron back to Calgary as he presented a workshop in April, a 4-day workshop, and it was very life-changing for me. So welcome back to Calgary again, Ron. We're really excited to have you back here again.
Thanks,
We're
Kath.
also honored to have Dorothy Wallis join us for this workshop. Her bio states she has been the forefront of the consciousness movement for over 30 years. Dorothy has taught meditation, vision quests, metaphysical, and heart-opening workshops since 1993. As a marriage and family therapist and certified teacher of Awakening the Illuminated Heart, she is grounded in practices of meditation, family systems, and relational growth. Wow, amazing.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That's going to be, this extensive workshop is going to be above all others. The two of you guiding us through this experience and awareness. I'm very, very excited to witness the two of you together. So I think we're in for a beautiful, beautiful experience. So Ron, I do have a question for you. In your bio, it says for almost 3 decades, you have been teaching the principles of sacred geometry and how this can lead to the opening of the heart and to the balanced relationship between the heart and the mind. Now, what is the correlation between sacred geometry and the opening of the heart? Can you please share with the audience and why this is so important?
Wow, thanks, Kathy, for even the opportunity to speak of that. Sacred geometry for me was critical to everything that I represent now at this time. I had, previous to a specific moment that happened in 1997, I had spent, previous to that, at least 25 years studying principles that relate to something called metaphysics. And essentially, metaphysics, a simple description of that is metaphysics is the science of everything. And so I was cramming my head full of information for decades, to the point where what is information when you just keep pounding it in? What does it mean? What does it represent? So what happened for me was, in one way or another, through a set of circumstances, some of which may seem miraculous, I came upon information that introduced the concept of sacred geometry to me, which is, through simple principles, an explanation that allows for something to happen in the mind. And that's what happened to me. Through understanding these principles, my left brain finally had a moment when it went, oh, I get it. I can see the unity of all life in a logical way. That's what sacred geometry offered to me. That may be, from a woman's perspective, somewhat difficult to understand. Don't you know that already? The masculine side of life has more difficulty in understanding that principle, the unity of all life, than the feminine side of life has. So for me, this was critical. My left brain actually said, I can see it. And in that moment, the right brain, and this is happening literally, the right brain said, oh, finally. And what happened, it was almost like an exhale. It was, oh, and the two sides literally came together, literally, and breathed out. And in that breath, I felt everything that I'd crammed into this mind for the preceding 25 years drop into my heart. And that changed everything. Now there was a home for all of those things, so that they had a home, they could be grounded and begin to make sense. It's a new form of balance. Sacred geometry was critical for me, and in the time that this was happening, it was actually critical for many people in a similar circumstance. It was a way for the masculine to begin to understand the unity of all life. We're in a different time now. This workshop is actually, it's happening because now it can, because the information that I needed in a masculine form, the information of sacred geometry, consciousness is now ready to receive this in a much different and simpler form. And that's what the workshop that we will be giving, the 5-day Awakening the Illuminated Heart. This is how that information will be given in a much more feminine way, because it's time for that now.
That's very beautiful, Ron. I do believe that through this time that we're in, we do need to go in and really get to know who we are. Remember who we are as spiritual beings. And if we're always in the left brain, thinking and trying to analyze our way through situations, I think that it's gonna be a difficult time. So I really appreciate what you're teaching here. I think many, many, many people require this information and the experience of it. It's like you said, you can cram all that stuff in your brain, but if you don't start to live it from the heart, it's just information in the brain. So yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's so delightful. Thank you so much. Dorothy, did you want to share anything about that at all, or?
I really believe that in this time frame, we are coming into more of a balance with the feminine and the masculine aspects of each of us. So this does lead the way.
Beautiful. Well, Dorothy, I have a question for you. It is my belief it's very important to be aware how you're feeling about yourself, your relationships, and circumstances. And your bio also states, your compassionate approach empowers your ability to join with your body's innate capacity to heal through holistic, somatic, sensory, and emotional awareness. Will this be something you will bringing into the workshop? And if it is, can you expand on that?
Absolutely. So during this time, one of the aspects that has not been kind of in the culture is really about emotions. And so we can look at our emotions as something that is a part of our being that has a purpose instead of the fear of it. And through somatic awareness, which is the physical awareness of the sensations in the body, that we can begin this process of actually not only accepting our emotions, but actually having a lot of gratitude for them and a deeper understanding of what they do for us. One of the things that in this workshop that we're going to be talking about is emotional regulation. And there's these aspects of the ego that is protective. And so it's not dissing the ego in any way. It is seeing the intention of the ego and the purpose of it And with that, then there can be a deeper understanding of our emotional body as well, and how to regulate it, but also to really come to love the whole spectrum of our emotions. So we'll be doing exercises in somatic awareness to feel safe within the body, because that's the primary thing, is when we feel safe, our ego can relax.
Hmm. That's beautiful and makes a lot of sense, because one of the things that I witness with myself, not just other people, but myself, sometimes I just want that emotion to go away. I don't want to look at it, right? I don't want to accept it. I don't want to bring it to the surface. I just want it to completely go away.
Mm.
And I know in my heart that I really should just allow it to be.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
part of that is a skill, right? Because again, what we're taught is to push them away. It is to distract ourselves, or to not be with our emotions, or to fear them, especially, and so with somatic awareness, you begin to feel the sensations, that they're not harmful sensations. And so it's actually a process of kind of getting used to these movements of energy within your body, to realize that they have messages rather than that they're trying to hurt you in some way. But for the most part, especially when we go into what people call the negative emotions, those emotions will bring up a lot of energy, and that kind of energy is to get our attention. That's the whole point. Pay attention, not to push them away, but to look at what is going on.
Well, I can pretty much guarantee there's going to be a lot of negative emotions expanding here shortly because of things that are going on the planet. So this is absolutely perfect timing, that people really do need to look at those emotions. They're there for a purpose.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
beautiful. Well, I'm excited about that. Excited to go and explore all that.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm. So expanding our awareness of who we are right now is extremely important. Would you both agree to that?
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd just like to
Um,
add, if
Go
I
ahead.
could,
Oh,
a little something. Many times in my life, I've been in a situation where I've met someone for the first time, and you know how it is. We have typically a very quick response to the energy of others, and I can't say how many times that the first response has been, "Ooh, I'm not sure I respond well to that individual." Okay. Um, and when I have recognized this, what I find more and more is that that's very similar to what happens to the emotions that arise as well. An emotion comes up and I respond, "Oh, I'm not sure I like that." And what Dorothy has helped me do is to pay attention to that in a way that, instead of negating anything, instead of saying no, I go deeper into it. And what I find with individuals and with the emotions is that that opens a door for relationship. And people that at first seemed, "Oh man, I don't think I'll get along with that person," become friends, important friends that offer something in my life. And it's the same for the emotions. Life is bringing us the opportunity, time and again, for broadening our perspective and going into a deeper relationship, if we're willing to pay attention and go through that door.
Very important words spoken there, Ron. Yeah, we have a tendency to ignore many things, and I think that now is not the time to be ignoring anything. Not that you want to create more of it, but you do want to identify how you're feeling inside. Absolutely. for sure. Can you both share with me, or share with us, or share with the audience, just a short overview of the 5-day intensive workshop, how it will assist others to live a better life, to be okay with what's going on, and to be able to work their way through the experiences? You got
Well, I can start. So the way that this workshop is actually structured is, first of all, to build upon safety. So it begins with, really in a gentle way, of acceptance of where a person is starting from. And we gently take people through a process of going deeper and deeper into your personal self, and with many, exercises and experiences, so that you can feel safe just being with yourself, because that is the first part of all of this. Relationship with others does begin with, what are you accepting and knowing about yourself? Can you feel safe being in your body, for one thing? And I think there's a lot of fear in the world right now, and I don't think people do feel safe right now. And so this process of expanding this energy of love and kindness and acceptance into your own heart and to your past, to the experiences that you have had that have shaped you, that to see that all of us have gone through a rocky road of being in life, and that with that, of course, we have some fears in the world, and that's a natural thing. But how can we then now move into this place within our hearts where we not only see ourselves as a being that has awareness, but as someone that is love, someone that has come here with that and emanates that, and that is our essence. So it's really guiding people into the true essence of who they are throughout this whole workshop, into that deeper knowing of who they are. And then with that, there's this beautiful group camaraderie, field, basically, an energy field that creates this comradeship, really, and that darshan between hearts, that you feel the unity and you realize that the pains and the suffering that I've gone through are universal, and other people have that too. I'm not alone in this. And I think that part of not feeling alone helps us move into relationship in a much deeper way. So by the end of the workshop, there's this beautiful sense of a field of belonging that maybe you have never felt before, and having your place in the world, and that whatever your dharma is, whatever your path is what you came here for, and to move into the world with that, fresh eyes, seeing the beauty in the world, that expansiveness.
That's absolutely beautiful. I do hear the word trust coming. And once you have that trust for yourself, then you start to trust others. I think their lack of trust is going on right now. So that really will encompass that whole trusting of your inner guidance, that you're making the right decision, that you're going the right way, that you're with what you're supposed to do. So that word trust comes up for me.
Absolutely.
My response to what Dorothy said is what she said. That's my response. And she brought up a point that I think is really important about the group. So much of what happens in this workshop is dependent on the group that comes and there is no coincidence about how that forms. This is an opportunity for an experience that only happens because a group of hearts meet in an opportunity of safety. And when that experience is felt collectively, an expansion takes place that is perhaps not available any other way. To be with a group of people who essentially are in their hearts as we move through the workshop, this is what happens. This is perhaps unlike any other experience that you may have had. And with that, excuse me, I'd like to actually set an intention at this moment in time between the four people who are here together today, where we set an intention to open the space for anyone who is ready now in this moment, whether they're conscious of it or not, to have the experience of being in their heart in a safe way with a group of people. That's an invitation. Because that one thing alone can change a life. It offers something that can change a life. Yes.
Thank you so much, Ron. That's so lovely. And I do set that intention. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So it is.
And so it is. Well, with that, I don't think there's any more to share. I think that's perfect and divine. And as that workshop is perfect and divine in this upcoming October workshop. So all the information for Ron and Dorothy's workshop, Illuminate, Awakening the Illuminated Heart, is on our website, which is called Illuminate Your Life. So there's no coincidence there.
Oh,
The workshop is the workshop is on October 16th to the 20th, 2024. So we hope to see you there, and you can connect with any of us. All the information is on that website. So I look forward to spending time with you too. And thank you so much for your time today. You're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. So thank you very much.
thank you, Kathy.
Thank you,
We
Kat.
look forward. We look forward to it. Yes. Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste.